Have you ever noticed something strange? You walk into a room, and you're not trying to impress anybody. You're not showing off. You're not talking too much. You're just being yourself. But somehow, people notice you. Someone keeps looking at you when they think you're not watching. A person you barely know suddenly starts telling you their whole life story. People remember you after meeting you only once. And sometimes the strangest part is this. You may not even understand what they see in you. You might look in the mirror and think, "Me? Attractive? Are we talking about the same person?" But attraction is not always about a perfect face, expensive clothes, or trying to look like you just stepped out of a movie. Sometimes there is something much deeper happening. Carl Jung spent much of his life exploring the hidden parts of the human mind. And one interesting thing about human beings is this. We are often drawn to people for reasons we cannot fully explain. It can feel mysterious. You meet someone and think, "I don't even know why, but there is something about this person." Today, we're talking about 8 signs you may have a mysterious attraction that people simply can't explain. And number 6. That one happens to a lot of people, especially as they get older and become more comfortable with who they are. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you may finally understand why some people are strangely drawn to you, even when you are doing absolutely nothing to attract them. And as we go through these signs, tell me in the comments, which number sounds most like you? Let's get into it. 1. People notice you. Even when you're quiet, you know that person who enters a room and immediately becomes the center of attention. Now, I'm not talking about the person shouting, "Hello, everybody," before they even close the door. I mean the quiet person, the one who walks in calmly, sits down, looks around, and somehow people notice. That might be you. You may not talk much at first. You may not feel the need to explain yourself to everybody. But people still feel your presence, and sometimes this surprises you. You may be sitting quietly at a family gathering, enjoying your food, minding your own business, and suddenly somebody says, "You've been quiet today. What are you thinking about?" And you're like, "Honestly, I was thinking about whether there's any more chicken left," but people assume there must be something deeper going on. That is part of mysterious attraction. When you don't reveal everything about yourself immediately, people become curious. The human mind does not always like unanswered questions, so when people cannot easily figure you out, they may start thinking about you even more. Carl Jung believed there are parts of ourselves hidden beneath the surface, and sometimes people sense that there is more to you than what you show at first glance. You're not empty. You're not desperate for attention. You have an inner world, and people can feel it. That quiet presence can be incredibly attractive. 2. People feel comfortable telling you personal things. Have you ever met someone who suddenly starts telling you everything? You ask one simple question, "How are you?" And suddenly you know about their childhood, their marriage, their back pain, what their cousin did in 1997. Everything. And you're sitting there thinking, how did we get here? This can be a sign that people feel strangely safe around you. There is something in your energy, your listening, or the way you respond that makes people feel they can take off the mask for a moment. And that is rare. Many people know how to talk. Not everyone knows how to make another human being feel heard. Maybe when people speak to you, you don't immediately judge them. Maybe you don't interrupt every 5 seconds. Maybe you don't turn every conversation back to yourself. You simply listen. And people remember that. Sometimes attraction is not, "Wow, this person is beautiful." Sometimes it is, "I feel good when I'm around this person, and I don't know why." That feeling can be powerful, especially in a world where so many people are surrounded by others but still feel lonely. If people often open up to you, even people you barely know, don't underestimate that. Your presence may be more attractive than you realize. 3. You don't try too hard to be liked. Now this one is interesting. There comes a point in life when you get tired of performing for everybody. You stop trying to make every single person happy. You stop explaining every decision. You stop changing yourself just because somebody might not approve. And strangely enough, people may start liking you even more. Why? Because there is something attractive about a person who is comfortable being themselves. Not perfect, not arrogant, not pretending, just real. Maybe you say what you mean. Maybe you have your own opinions. Maybe you can say, "No, I don't like that." And you don't need to write a 10-page explanation afterward. You simply know who you are becoming. That can create a mysterious kind of attraction because people feel your authenticity. And according to Jungian ideas, becoming more connected to your true self is an important part of becoming whole. When you are always trying to be what everybody wants, people may see the performance. But when you become more yourself, people feel something real, and real is becoming rare. So if you've reached that stage where you're thinking, "I'm too old to pretend," or "I don't have the energy to impress everybody anymore," good news, you may actually be becoming more attractive. 4. Some people like you before they really know you. This one can feel very strange. Someone meets you, and they seem to like you immediately. They smile at you. They remember your name. They seem happy to see you. And you're thinking, have we met before? Sometimes people are responding to something they sense in you. Maybe you remind them of someone. Maybe your energy feels familiar. Maybe there is something about you that brings out a feeling they cannot explain. Jung talked about projection, the idea that sometimes people place their own hidden feelings, hopes, and ideas onto another person. That means someone may look at you and see more than just you. They may see something they admire, something they miss, something they wish they had in themselves. And this is why mysterious attraction can be confusing. One person sees you and feels nothing. Another person meets you for 5 minutes and thinks, there is something special about this person. You cannot control all of it. And honestly, you don't need to. You don't have to chase everybody's attention. The right people will feel your presence in their own way. 5. You have a calmness that stands out. Let's be honest. The world is noisy. Phones are ringing. People are rushing. Someone is upset about something. Someone is sending you a message with 10 question marks because you didn't reply in 7 minutes. Everything feels urgent. So imagine meeting someone who brings calm. Someone who doesn't turn every small problem into a national emergency. Someone who can sit quietly. Someone who can breathe before reacting. Someone who doesn't need drama to feel alive. That person becomes noticeable. Maybe that's you. You may not even realize how much your calmness affects other people. When someone is stressed, your calm can feel like fresh air. When someone is confused, your steady presence can make them feel safe. And this is not about being emotionless. You still feel things. You still get upset sometimes. Of course, you're human. But you don't let every emotion grab the steering wheel and drive the car. There is a quiet strength in you, and people are drawn to that. Especially as we get older, we begin to understand something important. Peace is attractive. A person who brings you peace is often far more memorable than a person who constantly brings excitement and confusion. 6. You seem more attractive when you stopped trying to look attractive. Now come on, this one is real. Have you ever noticed that some days you spend a long time getting ready? You check the mirror, fix your hair, change your clothes, look again, and then you go outside and nobody says anything. Then another day, you're just going to the shop. You're wearing something simple. Your hair is doing whatever it wants. You were not prepared to meet anybody. And suddenly, wow, you look good today. And you're thinking, today? This is the day you chose? Here's the thing. Attraction is often connected to how comfortable you are in yourself. When you stop constantly checking whether everyone approves of you, your body relaxes, your face relaxes. Your movements become natural, you smile more naturally, you become less tense, and people notice that freedom. There is something beautiful about a person who looks comfortable in their own skin. You don't have to be the youngest person in the room. You don't have to have the perfect body. You don't have to look 25 when you are 70. Please, let's rest. You can be attractive at every age. Because attractiveness is not just a number. It is how alive you feel, how you carry yourself, how you treat people, how comfortable you are being seen. That kind of beauty doesn't disappear with age. Sometimes it becomes even stronger. 7. People remember small things about you. This is one of those signs you may miss completely. You tell someone one small thing about yourself. Maybe you said you like a certain song. Maybe you mentioned you enjoy gardening. Maybe you said something funny without even thinking, and months later, they remember it. They say, "Hey, I saw this and thought of you," and you think, "You remembered that?" Yes, because you made an impression. People don't remember everything about everyone, but when someone feels a connection with you, even a mysterious one, little things about you can stay in their mind. Your voice, the way you say a certain word, your kindness, a strange little habit you have, maybe even the way you always complain about cold weather while wearing socks that look like they've survived 3 wars. The small things become part of what makes you memorable. And being memorable is a powerful form of attraction, not because you tried to create a perfect image, but because you were simply you. 8. People are curious about you, but they can't fully figure you out. This might be the biggest sign of all. People feel like there is always more to discover about you. They think they understand you. Then you surprise them. Maybe you're quiet, but you have a funny side nobody expected. Maybe you seem serious, but you love dancing when your favorite song comes on. Maybe you're kind, but you also have strong boundaries. Maybe you've been through difficult things, but somehow you still have a soft heart. People cannot put you into one little box. And that makes you interesting. Carl Jung famously said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." And maybe that is where mysterious attraction really begins, when you become more of yourself. Not the version your family wanted, not the version social media told you to become, not the version you created just to survive and please everybody, but the real you. The funny parts, the quiet parts, the strong parts, the parts that are still healing, the parts that have lived, loved, lost, learned, and kept going. That is depth, and depth is difficult to fake. People may not always know why they are attracted to you. They may not have the words. They may just know there is something about you. And sometimes that is enough. So let me ask you something before we end. Have you ever had someone say, "I don't know what it is about you, but I like being around you"? Or maybe people often notice you when you're quiet. Open up to you quickly. Remember small things about you. Or seem curious about you even when you haven't done anything special. If that sounds like you, drop the number 8 in the comments. And if you've experienced one of these signs, tell us which one. I really want people watching this video to read the comments and realize something important. You don't have to look like somebody else to be attractive. You don't have to be louder. You don't have to be younger. You don't have to chase people. Sometimes the thing that makes you attractive is the very thing you thought nobody noticed. Your calmness, your depth, your kindness, your confidence, your story, your strange little way of being yourself. So if this video made you see yourself a little differently today, give it a like and subscribe. We're building this channel together, one honest conversation at a time. And maybe the next time someone looks at you a little longer than expected, don't panic. Don't immediately check if there's something on your face. Maybe, just maybe, they're trying to figure out that mysterious attraction you carry without even knowing it.